Have you ever had that creeping feeling that your life is predictable? Not because you're failing, but because even your spontaneous choices feel like they've been written for you 1,000 years ago. You wake up, you move, you react, and at the end of the day, you realize you're just a passenger in a story you've already seen. This is the quantum loop. You think you're choosing, but in reality, you're just entangled with the same old waves of the past. You are vibrating at a frequency that has already been decided by the people around you and the blood inside you. In a universe of infinite possibilities, you keep collapsing into the exact same version of today. If you've been following our journey, you know we've already discussed how to use the quantum scissors to cut the cords of these old, heavy patterns. If you're still feeling the pull of a script that doesn't fit the life you want, if you haven't stopped the bleeding of your focus, you can find that prerequisite right here. But for those of you who are tired of just surviving the loop, it's time to take the seat of the primary observer. Today, we aren't here to heal. We are here to write. We are going to discuss how to change the very temperature of your blood so that you stop being a reaction to the room and start being the one who sets the rhythm. We are going to claim the wealth that moves when you move, the influence that synchronizes the world to your pulse, and a legacy that finally turns the repeat button off. I'm Elias. Stop being an echo of the past. Start being the one who commands the light. Let's begin. Most people treat wealth like a prize they have to win. They think money is something outside of them, sitting in a vault, waiting to be earned. But in the quantum world, nothing is outside. Everything is entangled. Right now, your bank account is simply a physical mirror of your biological frequency. If your blood is vibrating with the shiver of scarcity, that tight, shallow breath you take when you look at a price tag, you are coupled with poverty. You are literally entangled with the version of reality where there is never enough. And as long as you stay in that rhythm, the universe has no choice but to keep feeding you that same cold script. Wealth is not a thing. It is a state of the field. Think about the way you breathe when you walk into your own home. There is no hope that the floor will hold you. There is no trying to belong. There is just belonging. That is the frequency of ownership. To command wealth, you have to perform a biological shift. You have to entangle your nervous system with the feeling of abundance before the money shows up. You have to teach your blood the temperature of success. When you pay for your rent or even a simple coffee, notice the grip in your chest. That is the old entanglement trying to pull you back. In that moment, I want you to relax your hand, soften your stomach. Take a breath that feels like it's filling an infinite room. By refusing to feel the sting of loss, you are breaking the link with poverty. You are creating a quantum void. And here is the law. Nature hates a vacuum. When you stand in the certainty of belonging, you force the quantum field to collapse a new reality around you. The deals, the luck, and the money aren't coming. They are being drawn into your orbit because you are finally vibrating at their speed. You don't need to make money. You need to become the version of yourself that is inseparable from it. Stop being a seeker and start being the source. We often think that influence is about what you say. We think it's about the perfect argument or the loudest voice. But in a quantum field, influence isn't a conversation. It's a collapse. When you walk into a room, you are immediately entangled with everyone inside. Your heartbeats, your breaths, and your anxieties begin to mix into one chaotic wave. Most people are quantum receivers. They walk in and immediately pick up the static of the boss, the fear of the team, the noise of the crowd. Their frequency is overwritten by the chaos around them. And because they are being observed by the room, they have zero power to change it. Real power is being the stable observer. It's a biological law called entrainment. Think of a room full of grandfather clocks, all swinging out of sync. If you place one massive, heavy pendulum in the center, eventually the tiny ones will all begin to swing in time with the big one. You don't need to convince people to follow you. You need to be the most unshakable frequency in the room. The next time you are in a high-stakes meeting, stop focusing on your pitch and focus on your heartbeat. If your breath is deep and your spine is heavy, you are broadcasting a signal of absolute certainty. Because you are stable and they are not, the entanglement forces their nervous systems to seek relief in your rhythm. They don't even know why they agree with you. They just know that being near your frequency makes their own anxiety stop. You aren't networking. You are performing a frequency takeover. Stop trying to fit into the chaos. Stand in your own heat. Be the one who is so grounded that the entire room has no choice but to collapse into your version of reality. Influence isn't about being liked. It's about being the sound that turns everyone else into your echo. We talk about legacy as if it's just money in a bank. But the truth is much more haunting. You and your ancestors are quantum entangled. You are particles in the same field, vibrating with the same old fears, even if you've never met. This is why your children pick up your anxiety even when you don't say a word. They aren't just listening to your voice, they are tuned into your frequency. If your blood is shivering with the fear of not enough, you are collapsing that reality for them too. You are freezing their future into the same gray shape as your past. To be the golden pivot, you have to perform a surgical decoherence. You have to snap the quantum link by refusing to vibrate at the old frequency. This happens in the moment of pressure. The next time a financial storm hits, a lost deal, a sudden expense, notice the ghost of your grandfather trying to breathe through you. Feel that tightness in your chest. That is the entanglement. Your action must be a physical defiance. In that moment of panic, don't let your hands shake. Force your shoulders to drop. Take a breath that hits the bottom of your spine and hold it. By staying warm and calm while the storm is cold, you are sending a signal back through the entire web. You are telling the universe, this thread ends with me. Use the open palm practice. When you pay for anything, a bill, a gift, an investment, do it with a hand that is unclenched. A tight fist is a broadcast of scarcity. It entangles your children in the struggle. But an open palm is a broadcast of flow. You are teaching their nervous systems that they are a destination for abundance, not a victim of it. You are the one who stops the bleeding. By choosing to be the stable observer, you are unlocking a new set of possibilities for your bloodline. You aren't just leaving them wealth. You are leaving them a quantum field that is finally, for the first time, clear. We've spent this journey cutting the strings, recalibrating your blood, and claiming your frequency. But now comes the question most people are too afraid to ask. When does the world actually change? In quantum physics, when an electron moves from one energy level to another, it doesn't travel through the space in between. It doesn't fly. It doesn't crawl. It simply stops being in one place and starts being in the other. This is a quantum leap. Your life works the exact same way. You don't become successful through a long, painful bridge of struggle. You become successful the moment you stop entangling with the version of you that is trying. How do you know you're ready? It's not a thought in your head, it's an itch in your muscles. You will feel a sudden, unreasonable urge to move, to make that call, to quit that job, to write that first page. We call this inspired movement. It's not hard work. It's your future self pulling on the quantum thread, dragging your body into the reality you've already collapsed in your heart. Here is your final protocol. Stop asking how and start commanding as. Don't walk toward your wealth. Walk as a wealthy man. Don't look for influence. Speak as a leader whose voice already carries weight. When you move with the spine of the person you've decided to be, the world has no choice but to rearrange the scenery to match your new height. The surgery we started is now complete. You've cut the ghosts out of your blood. You've set the temperature of your own soul. You've reclaimed the legacy for those who will carry your name. The loop is broken. The silence is over. I'm Elias. The world is no longer something that happens to you. It is something that happens because of you. Your pulse is the new law. Go live.